sometimes hard, like you got a winning hand and then you dealt the wrong card. It ain't fair, but you're not alone, no. Down and out or high and dry, in the darkest valley or the coldest night, you'll find you're not alone. With a song bubbling in your heart, where a story is gonna give you a brand new start. You don't have to travel this big bad world all on your own, 'cause it's better when we do it together. All mixed up and upside down, feels like there's no one else around that ain't right, no. You're not alone. It all goes south and life gets tough and you've been knocked down and the weeds are rough. You just fight, 'cause you're not alone. With a song bubbling in your soul, where a story is gonna make you whole. You don't have to travel this big bad world all on your own, 'cause it's better when we do it together. Yeah, la 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 la. So, bubbling in your soul, the story gonna make you you don't have to tackle this big bad world all on your own, 'cause it's better when we do it together. It's better when we do it Yeah, it's better when we do it together. Life gets tough, yeah, life gets tough, but you're not alone. No, no, come on now. Not alone. Life can be scary and sometimes hard, like you got a winning hand and then you dealt the wrong card. It ain't fair. You're not alone, no. When you're down and out and you're high and dry, in the darkest valley or the coldest night, you'll find you're not alone, no. This song bubbling in your heart, where a story is gonna give you a brand new start. You don't have to travel this big bad world all on your own, 'cause it's better, yeah, it's better, yeah, it's better when we do it together. Oh my gosh, what the heck was that all about? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 99th episode, boom, 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 whatever that is, 99th episode of the Polaha Chautauqua. I am your host, Kristoffer. Polaha. Brooke Lewis just joined. Hi, Brooke. Gotta know how well your script is coming along. Let's go back to the beginning, shall we? Lynn showed up. Dolly showed up. Kelly B's in the house. Lauren's in the house. Dale. Ann Harkins here. Max. What's up, Max? This is Eileen. Hi, Eileen. Mary. Ann is here. Jan is here. Judy is here. Hi, Judy. Dolly's here. Alex is here. Steph is here. Larissa's here. Hello, everybody. Bunty Fox, all the way from England, is here. How you doing, girl? Dolly from Penna. Hello, we said hi. We got... I want to see who told me to keep my day job. Who was that? Let me see. Elizabeth, hello from New York, is here. Mimi is here. We got Dot is here. Good afternoon. Hello from Pennsylvania. We got Debster Girl is here. Dolly Brown. Taking the piss out of me. All right. Kelly's here. All right. Hi, everybody. We are all in the house. How are we doing, guys? So it is the 99th episode of the Polaha Chautauqua. For the 100th episode, I'm bringing on my dear friend, Anna Gomez. We're going to talk about From Kona with Love. We're going to talk about the 10 and 7 challenge. And then specifically, I want to talk to her about 8 Goodbyes, her brand new book that's coming out June 1st. She wrote it solo, as she has always done before she met me. And it's a wonderful book. I read it, and it's a really beautiful globetrotting romance. And then all of a sudden, near the end, the whole world gets turned upside down, and it drops into this very profound, deep, resonating book, which I think you all are going to love. If you love moments like this, and you loved Where the Sun Rises, you're going to love 8 Goodbyes. So go ahead and pre-order that. Check that book out. Hi, Madison. Hi, Kelly. June 6th, right? Not 1st. What does that mean, Kelly? What does that mean? Yeah, did I say June 1st? I don't know what I said. What is that in response to? All right, Samantha's in the house. Hi, Samantha. So today, I'm going to go live. I'm going to try to get on as many people as I can. I want to check in with you. I want to say hi to everybody. Next week, next Sunday, will be the 100th Polaha Chautauqua, which is a massive, inconceivable milestone for me to have achieved. And then it's going to be the last one for the summer. I'm going to take a break from social media, as I like to do. Of course, I'll post here and there, but I'm actually going to try to jump off of it for the summer and just kind of go back to pre-COVID social media behavior, which also includes a change in my behavior on the DMs. A lot of you noticed I started it's a broadcast. I think it's called KPBC or BCKP. But anyway, it's in my bio. It's next to the link, so you can go to my website or you can go to this broadcast. And it's a one-way DM. So if there's anything that I need to relay to you guys, it's all there. And I'm just not, I'm getting hit with too many DMs, and I'm the kind of person, I'm a sensitive guy, and I feel rude not responding. And so it's this thing where I can see them. I know you see that I see them, but then if I don't have the time to respond, you can't take it personally because it's just the new thing. And what I don't want to do is kick out everybody from the DMs and then not see them at all, because there's a whole bunch of people that I don't even see the DMs. And so I'm probably missing like 98% of the people who are trying to reach me via DM. But for the people that are in my general folder or whatever, I'll see that a little blue thing comes up. It says I got a message. I look at it. So yeah, it's taxing, and it's one of those things where it really does genuinely, as a human being, make me feel badly when I don't respond. It feels like I'm ignoring people, and I'm not. I just have to I have to redraw some space, some personal boundary space, and I think you understand that. I think that makes a lot of sense, right? So there's that. That's the first order of business. New DM laws, new DM rules. Again, you can't take it personally. Again, that doesn't mean that I don't appreciate, as far as like people who are running fan sites and people who are doing stuff on Facebook. Like, I'm so grateful for what you guys do. Judy and Bunty among you.
it's a big job that you guys are doing specifically, and I know that it's nice to have a little bit of contact with me. Again, we could do all of that stuff like publicly under the posts. I'll still be responding and probably be a lot more responsive in the comment section now that I'm not doing the DM stuff. So you can always talk to me through the posts in the public forum. And then for Kansas City, guys, here's the deal. I am so grateful that I have subscribers. It's a pretty quiet subscription, and I acknowledge that, and I appreciate it. So for those of you who have been subscribers, you're getting a little bit of content. It's kind of like, it is what it is. But in Kansas City, what I'm going to try to do are set up every lunch, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to set up my subscriber lunches. And if you're a subscriber and you're in Kansas City, I'm going to invite you to come have lunch with me. And I'm going to find a place, and we'll get some pizza, we'll get some salads or whatever. And we'll just sit down and have lunch together. It's going to be an hour. It's not going to be a huge amount of time, but it's going to beat having to wait in line and do the photos and all that stuff if you're in Kansas City. So those are the 3 days, and maybe not Sunday, but I definitely am going to do Friday and Saturday. I'll probably be too exhausted on Sunday. But Saturday night, I'm going to do a very special, it's going to be capped at 100 people. It's going to be a concert with my oldest boy, Caleb, and then a Q&A with me, and I will go through the whole history of my Hallmark movies or whatever Q&A. We're just going to be open mic, so it's going to be basically a set from Caleb and then an open mic Q&A with me. So kind of like a live Chautauqua. It'll be like a pilot episode of what a live Polaha Chautauqua looks like. And that's going to be a ticketed event, and the tickets are going to be limited to I think 100 people. So I got to find the space. I'm zeroing in on a fair price for that evening, but it's looking like it's going to be around, I don't know, 125. Tell me right now, is $125, does that sound like a fair price? Give me a heart if that sounds okay. I got one heart. Is that my answer? And then that was going to be, I'm going to do an invitation to just a bunch of people. Okay, there we go. There might be a little bit of a lag. I'm going to do an invitation, just to a bunch of people. So it'll be subscribers, but it'll be, and Chautauquans, and it'll be all the hardcore Polaha Chautauqua fans, but also sort of a larger, but again, capped at 100 people. And that'll be Saturday night. Details to come. So that's business number 2. So a little fun event in Kansas City after that has nothing to do with Christmas Con. It'll be its own entity, set up Saturday night, time and place to be determined, and that's a ticketed event. Again, it's first come, first serve. Let's see. And then the 10 and 7 challenge. Guys, you have crushed it. You have far exceeded all of my expectations. You have ranked me, Anna and I, up in Amazon. The book just skyrocketed up in the rankings. The IPG was delighted to see a spike in sales. I personally, it put us in a really good place for book 3. I think the response to the little readings on the reels means an audiobook is imminent. And so that was an awesome experiment. I am super grateful. There are almost 100 individuals. I think we're closing in on 100 individuals who've entered the contest. And so all of these things are, and I'm just going to say this the one time because I don't like, it's not like I'm trying to, this is just for your edification. My kids go to a school and they will auction off certain items. And some of the items that I'm auctioning off are they're big ticket items. They're actually really kind of cool, once in a lifetime kind of opportunities. I'm giving away artwork that I'm making by hand that for Sarah and for her art in action, her arts in action, we're selling for $5,000 a piece. And so there's a script, an original script of moments like this, which if and when we get the movie made, which is more likely when, and you know, that becomes a part of pop culture. That will have its own weight. There's a bunch of random stuff that all of it though has specific meaning to me and value to me. So it's definitely worth, if you've bought a book in the last month and a half, an ebook or a hard copy, go ahead and submit it. And or if you've told someone about the book and they bought it, just, I think they have to give you the receipt you submitted, or have them, when they submit the receipt, say, hey, you know, Judy told me to buy this book. And that ends, that wraps up this week. It is going to be midnight, June 1st. That's when it's going to close. And then they're going to send me some stuff. I'm going to pick out some names. And I think there's, what is it, Kelly? 5, 6 different packages people can win. So that's the story. So again, if you haven't gotten your tickets for Kansas City, it's not just going to be Christmas Con. It'll be fun little, if you're a subscriber lunches, and then a special event Saturday night, which will be a lot of fun. That's the first of that. And then let's see what we got. Nerve-wracking it is to be on the Polaha Chautauqua, because one minute you're watching a live, and then the next minute I call you and I'm like, join me. And it's terrifying. And I understand that. And that's a part of how I like to roll on the Polaha Chautauqua. I've invited Jill, and Jill is what's up, Cash? How you doing, buddy? Let me see. That's Christine. Oh, hi, Christine. Welcome to the Polaha Chautauqua, Christine. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's see who else we got. Oh. Now, I don't know if okay, so Jill is unable to join. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, I've invited somebody else to see if he'll come on the show. Yeah, I know, it's easy for me. Although Rain went live. Hey, there he is.
Hey,
You've accepted the call. This is
caught
not
me
an
spying, and I have
easy
no
thing to do.
weird lighting or anything going on here.
That's all right. You're a master director. You can be behind the camera. You don't have to be in front of it. Although
Oh man, this
I've pulled you in front of it. Everybody, this is Brock Heasley. Brock is the mastermind behind The Shift. He's a world builder, and he's done something really, really special with this movie that's going to be hitting theaters worldwide. And are we saying January?
We're seeing January. Yes, January 2024 is what we were planning.
Okay.
Trying to figure out how to get a light on here.
Your wife has been so sweet.
Yeah, she said she's been having a good time helping you out a little bit.
So I'm giving a commencement speech on Thursday for a high school graduation, and it's a big task, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous about getting up in front of 3,500 people and sharing some wisdom. But your wife was so encouraging. I gave her a draft of my speech, and she couldn't have been more encouraging. She was like, okay, this is why this is great. And she just kind of went down, and she gave me enough pointers, I think, that I know now I have a game plan that I'm going to head into on Thursday. So I'm good to go. So thank Erin for me.
I will. No, she was really excited that you reached out. I'm like trying to find the right tool down here to get this light on. I know it probably doesn't matter.
No,
but
it doesn't matter.
I can't help it. I can't help but try, and I can't find my freaking tool. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna skip that.
It just sucks because I'm like, mine is all clear.
I know,
and you're like, man, the contract.
And I was just scrolling through Instagram, like, oh, Chris is live, and the next thing I know, here I am.
You're on. Okay, so give people an update. Where are we with the film? Do you have do we have a final lock? Are we moving into like color correction and sound and special effects, or are you still editing? Where are we at?
Yeah, the edit is ongoing. It is really close though. We're hoping to lock a picture by the end of next month. And we did kick off visual effects this past week.
Okay.
And particularly because we are working on a new trailer that we have an edit for, and we just need the special effects, and then it's done.
Cool.
So really excited about that. And then next week I'll meet with our composers for the first time. So post-production is really picking up right now. So it's a lot of different departments working at the same time right now. But yeah,
that's awesome.
everything's on track.
Can we tell the people who the composers are?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Go for it.
So if you guys are familiar with Jars of Clay, which was a very, very, very popular Christian band in the 90s, right? Onward. They're actually the composers for The Chosen, the movie The Chosen. They're going to be doing the music for The Shift, which is extremely exciting.
Yeah. Dan is the lead singer-songwriter, and he's working with Matt Nelson, who was somebody that they toured with and that has played on some of their records. And Matt and Dan, of course, are the composers for The Chosen. And so this is their first feature film that they're doing together, which is really, really exciting.
Awesome.
But yeah, they're extremely, extremely talented dudes. We're very lucky to have them.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's really, dude, I cannot wait for people to watch this movie. When you showed me in Provo a few of the clips.
Yeah.
And I'm not as bad as Neil. Like, I'm not somebody who can't watch my work. I actually like to see, and I can gauge, okay, this is like, I can tell you where it falls in my work.
You were in it. When I was watching you watch, and you were in it, just examining, but you had a very interesting takeaway from it. You responded differently than I don't know. I think it was different for you too. I think you responded to your work in that film differently than maybe you have in other films. At least that was my impression at the time.
Yeah. What was your takeaway? What did you think?
You made the remark that it was like you were watching somebody else, that it was almost kind of like an out of body experience for you. You were watching Kevin. You weren't processing so much as, oh, that's me on screen, which I just think is really cool. Yeah. Because that's how I see it too. I've watched it so many times now that I'm like, oh, that's Kevin. I don't see my friend Chris.
It's not the guy I was having hamburgers with every night after the shoot. Sorry. I'm like, yeah, no, it's like I said to you, I don't want to say that publicly, but I do know that I'm incredibly proud of what you were able to put together, and the work that I did. Like, it's sometimes I watch my stuff and I'll be like, okay, like, it's charming or it's whatever. I get it. I get what that will be.
Yeah.
But this was a whole nother level, and this is something totally different. And I'm really, I'm excited to share it with people. I can't wait for them to see it.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. And I'm excited to show you the rest of the movie. I think we only got to watch like 20 minutes together because we didn't have time to watch the whole movie, but I wanted to show you what I could. But yeah, I mean, look, it's one of those things where you don't want to talk it up too much so far ahead of things. You want people to take it in, but that said, I think there's a lot to be excited about in terms of what you did in this film. I think what you did, I think when people see it, I know even though I saw it and I was there every day, seeing it all together, seeing some of the things that you did surprised even me. You really built this through line for this character. And even though I don't know that we could have shot this movie more out of order than we did. Like, this is one chewed up movie in terms of how the order we actually shot these scenes. But man, you tracked with it. Like, and that's an actor's job, especially in a feature film, is to keep track of those things. But even I was like watching it all back. I'm like, oh crud, he really like kept track of like what was going on here and how that related to this scene. And it's very fluid, and it's very challenging. For those that don't know, I mean, Chris is in 99% of this movie. I mean, there's like 2 scenes that he isn't in, and those scenes are nothing. So, I mean, I can't really honestly think of a whole lot of movies except for maybe like Castaway, or one of these movies where like, you know, the actor is on an island by themselves and they're
Right.
talking to a volleyball. Like, okay, yeah, that movie, the guy's in every single scene. Like, duh.
Right.
But this movie isn't like that. There's tons of different people who are coming in and out of this movie, different characters that you're playing with, but you're there every single scene.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. I think for my money, I think you did a remarkable job, and I can't wait for people to see it.
I really, really, really appreciate you saying that. The tracking compliment is a huge compliment, because that's something I take. Yeah, I spend a lot of time and care breaking the scripts down and at night, and just making sure that all, like, the line, the arc is all the way through. Hey, I got two things. I don't want you don't have to jump into your personal story right now, but the story of Kevin is a story about a guy who's being tested, and his life, it goes through some really hard moments, and your life has gone through some pretty hard moments.
Mm-hmm.
And you wrote a book, is that correct? And it's
Mm-hmm.
available right now. Like, if people want to check out your story, what's it called?
It's called The Other Side of Fear, a true story of, oh my gosh, I can't remember the subtitle. A true story of murder, forgiveness, and the peace only faith can bring.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
pretty horrific murder happened in your life.
Yeah.
And this is a story about how you process that through your faith and through God, and how healing happened and how forgiveness happened. So I highly recommend, if you guys are in the habit of buying books right now, please check out Brock's book.
After you get Chris's book.
No, mine's done. We're good. I think people have gone. They found where the centers. But your book is available at Amazon.
Yeah.
Like, you can go online.
Oh yeah,
it in,
it's easy to find.
order it. Yeah. So go ahead and get the book. And then the other thing that people can get to have a tangible hands-on experience for the shift, the necklaces are still for sale. Is that something that's still going on right now through Angel Studios?
Oh yeah, no. In fact, those have proven to be more popular than we even anticipated, and we're getting people asking for earrings and tie bars and all this stuff, and all that stuff is coming too. But right now, yeah, the necklaces are still on sale. Angel.com/HeLives, and this necklace is it's a representation of the empty tomb of Christ, and it's a necklace that your character Kevin gives to his wife in the movie. And actually, I think people are going to be surprised at just how key this piece of jewelry, this necklace, and this symbol is to the film. Would you say that's fair to say, Chris?
Yeah,
it's a pretty important part, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a huge story point, and it has it's well represented within the film. And so I think if you own it, you're going to feel a special connection to the story and to the movie itself. When did you come up with the design? Because that was your design, right?
Yeah, it was my design. It was something I designed. In fact, I was just checking all my records on this. It was It was Easter Sunday in 2015, and
Oh, wow.
Interesting thing about that is it was in December of 2015 that we rolled camera on the Shift short film. So these two things kind of came up. For those of you that don't know, we created a short film version of the Shift, which you can watch on YouTube, before we created the feature film earlier this year, and that was many years ago. But both of those things were created essentially in the same year, and but were not intertwined in any way. That came much later for the feature film.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was
I think you and I have spoken about this, but we both had a very similar life arc that began in 2015 and came to a lot of closure in the filming of this movie in 2023. Like, you and I have had a very similar season, and I remember when we started talking and when we started, really kind of hashing stuff out, it was interesting to me where there were a lot of similarities in what we were going through personally, and how our paths crossed in this really kind of pivotal moment. And it was on a really human, manly level, like, it was too, if you want to put us in terms of like fighters or warriors or something, like, we just came into the ring or onto the battlefield, and both of us were willing to empty out everything. And you were like, my whole life is this film. And I was like, everything that I've ever done my whole life is, I want it to be in this film. And we're leaving everything on the field. We're leaving everything on the table. Yeah. And we did, I think.
We did.
It was a really rare experience to go to work with somebody and to look at you eye to eye and be like, all right, break me today. How are we going to do this today? Yeah. And for both of us to be all in. And because Yeah, I mean, financially and all of the things that were leading up to the film, right? Like it was just, it really is when you start looking at things, um, you can't help but start looking at supernatural elements and being like, well, God is in this thing.
Yeah.
It's weird to start talking about it because, yeah, movies are movies and we tell stories and it's entertainment and it's fun, but it's also our lives. It's also what we do to make a living and to feed our families. And this one became just explosively important the minute it started happening. I think for both.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you obviously this was something that you were working on since 2015, which is also when my little dry season of like, you know, network stuff ending and venturing into all this other kind of territory began.
Hmm.
So for me, it's interesting because the timing of it, we linked up, you know, and we tracked with each other until this conclusion in Alabama, which we'll see how it works, but I'm excited to see.
Yeah, no, it is interesting. Like our paths are obviously extremely different because you as an actor and me as not an actor, but the emotions are similar. You know,
Yeah.
we both I think had this period of success for me outside of the film industry, but I achieved a degree of success in my professional life and things were going well, and then it just fell off a cliff. And there's an emotion that goes with that. There's a, you know, why is this happening and what do I do and how do I feed my family? And I know that for you, the circumstances weren't the same, but it was a similar emotion where you got to a point and then it was like, well, crud, why is the bottom falling out and what do I do? And what is it? What is the point of things falling out? And, you know, sitting here in 2023, I can look back at all that and I can say, well, the point was, I believe very strongly, and it's obviously it's up to audiences to decide whether or not this is a worthy thing to say. But I believe that the point of all of that was so that we could tell this story, so that we could um, make this movie. I really genuinely believe that because I know that the story that I wrote and the story that we told together is not one that would have happened without those experiences. The
Yeah.
things that Kevin goes through are a direct result of the struggle that I endured for many, many years with my family. And the emotion that what he goes through is very different from what I went through. But I invested so much of my own personal story and emotional and spiritual journey into the film. And I think what I love so much about when you came on, and it's funny because I knew this even about you even before I met you because I knew you were the right person, but it was solidified when we met and you came on set and you had just come off of a Biltmore Christmas and literally like the day before you were exhausted, you had spent everything you had, you were looking forward to going home to your family and you decided not to and instead to spend the next 6-7 weeks with me to make this movie, which you knew on the page was going to be exhausting.
Yeah.
We did put you through the ringer and you knew that's what it was going to be and you decided to do it anyway. And at that point too, I was exhausted. I had been through 8 years of pre-production and I had just been through 2 months of intense pre-production in which we changed the location of the movie at the last minute, you know, and you were a stress, you know, you signing on as late as you did. It was one of those things where like, I didn't know we were going to have a leading man but you know, all in God's timing. And I believe that it was all right and it happened the way that it was supposed to happen. But both of us, I think, went into day one feeling like we got nothing left. You know, I mean, I was energized, I was excited for it, but I also was totally tired and
Yeah.
exhausted.
Like the
And
tanks were empty. Like at the
yeah,
start line, it was like we were running on empty.
yeah,
And you had to be
exactly.
terrified. This was your first feature film.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
had to be terrified. You had to be like, what am I gonna do tomorrow? Like, is it gonna work? I mean, as confident as you were, and I think you knew the world so well that you had our trust and you had our confidence and you knew the telling of the story. And you're a graphic artist, and I think people forget, like, you're used to telling stories in images and
yeah.
connecting, you know, boxed images to tell a story. So film is really just, it's 34 frames per second or whatever it is. So you're just,
24, yeah,
you get a lot, yeah, you get a lot more boxes to tell the story with
right.
filmmaking than you do as a graphic artist. So like when Ken Carpenter told me that, I was like, oh, well, he knows visual storytelling because he's a graphic artist. But still, like little Micah is starting to direct films, and he'll be like, I don't know what I'm doing, Dad. And I'm like, just trust you, just go, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But you had to have had that like terror.
It was both things. It was a firm belief that I would not have gotten this far if I wasn't qualified to do what I needed to do. And I very much believe too, and look, I don't know, whether or not you get too much into spiritual matters on a Chautauqua, but for me,
go for it.
I very much believe that if God calls a person, then he qualifies them. And that doesn't mean that you can do the thing. It means that God will make it so that you can. And so that was the faith that I had going into day one, where, yeah, I was terrified. I mean, the day one was the longest scene of the movie, and I was directing you and Neil McDonough and Rose Reed, and all of you have been on way more sets than me, and certainly are professionals. And Neil in particular is an intimidating guy playing an intimidating role. The nicest dude on the planet. I love Neil, but there's a reason he's a good job. He does really well playing bad guys. Like, he's very confident, he knows what he's doing. And
he's intense.
You were tired, so I was like, okay, I can handle that guy. He's exhausted. I can do whatever. No, I'm kidding. But going into day one, it really was a thing where it was like, okay, you know what? If this is the position I'm in, and if I believe that if I'm doing the thing that he wants me to do, then I will be whoever I need to be to do this job. And that's where my confidence came from, if I had it. And I do. I think I do. I had more confidence on day one, certainly, than I expected to. And I think that's the reason.
That's awesome. That's an amazing testimony too. I think when people hear that, that's gonna change a lot of hearts. Like, I'm looking at the comments as they're coming in, and they're repeating that God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Well, thank you for having the bravery to jump on live with me, apropos no warning at all. And please thank Aaron again for all her help with my speech. And sorry we keep missing each other in LA. It's been since I got, just trying to keep the balance between family and all that stuff. And we're actually leaving in a minute here. So, but when I get back, and if you're in LA, we'll definitely find time to do dinner and lunch, and we'll make it work.
I'm sure it'll happen before too long.
All right, brother.
Good to see you, man.
Much love, man. Much love. I'll talk to you soon, Brock.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Brock Heasley, everybody. Go buy the book. He has got a good book out right now.
What you doing?
Well, you got to turn your camera around, Gail.
There
she is. Aloha. Hey.
Why'd you have me on? I wasn't supposed to be on tonight.
You look like you just got back from a trip.
I did.
Where'd you go?
I went to Hawaii.
You went to Hawaii. And what islands did you go to, Gail? What island did you go to?
Let's see. Well, I really went to Oahu for the main thing, but then one day I was by myself, so I decided to island hop, and I went to Kauai.
You went to Kauai?
I did.
What did you do when you were at Kauai?
Well, see, I had this beautiful map that someone gave me recently, and it just really inspired me. So I thought I would go there just to see what it looked like in person.
I love it. Did you happen to take any video or any pictures while you were there?
Yeah, I took tons of pictures, tons of video, and so I sent it to this friend of mine. So hopefully they'll be able to use it.
Well, I think they will. I think they did already. The lighthouse. What a cool trip. And I know you were like, keep it on the DL and da. But I have to say, I think that you get to have the honor or the title of being the only person on the planet who has done both tours of both books. Like, you did Moments tour, and you went around. You and Rodney went around Oahu and did all the things that we wrote about in Moments Like This. Yeah. And then you did you got a highlight of a lot of the Kauai. I mean, you went surprisingly far north. You went all the way up and then all the way down.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I did. It was really awesome. I sort of mapped it out, and I didn't get everything done on my list because I only had so many hours in the day, but it was so much fun just seeing some of the places for real,
Like,
you
you
know.
got to see where Adam lived at the hotel
I,
he moved to, Tunnels
I
Beach.
did. Yeah, I'm going to put together a little montage myself, but you obviously have the bulk of the footage to use whenever and however you want to. So,
It's really
but it
cool.
was lots of fun. It was lots of fun. So, and while I was there, there's of course, the public library in Lihue already had a copy of Where the Sun Rises, but the public library in Princeville, which is actually the area where Melee would have
Yeah.
lived, they didn't have a copy, so I took them 2 copies. So now they have 2 copies.
Yay. I love it. I love it. Well,
So that was fun.
I was getting a haircut and you were like, hey, can you jump on FaceTime? I was like, wow, I'm getting my hair cut. And then I was like, what's up? And then you surprised me with what you were doing. And I was like,
Yeah.
what a cool, like, I haven't even been to Kauai. Like I was doing all that writing I mean, I've been there as a little boy, but I haven't been there
Oh,
so long. So all of that was research done from remote.
oh. See, I thought you'd been like during your North Shore days or something.
No, I
Oh,
was working so hard on North Shore. We stayed on Oahu, never got off the island. In a
oh,
year of
okay.
living in Oahu, like I literally was doing 6-day weeks, and then
Yeah,
Caleb was born, and it was a busy, like, yeah, it was busy. So we're gonna have to go
yeah,
back to do the islands
yeah.
we're still writing. But that was a treat for me. So thank you for doing that.
Oh, you're welcome. It was really fun. And I told Rodney, I was like, that place was stunning. We have to go back, you know, and have a legitimate vacation there because the vegetation was beautiful. The people were lovely. I mean, I was only there 11 hours, but it was really special. And so it was
It's
just fun.
amazing,
Just
right?
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing, and each island is really different. Like they get
Yeah.
very different geographically.
Yeah. They all have their own sort of vibe, you know?
Yeah.
And so you know, it was really fun. And like I said, I got to see some of the places, the lighthouse, which you've already put out there, but some other things, you know, there was a tunnel of trees that they drove through, and I got to drive through the tunnel of trees, and I went to um, Tunnels Beach. I went there. I wanted to go to Secret Beach. That was what I really wanted to do. However, the walk down to it is supposedly very steep, and it had just rained because it
Yeah.
rains throughout the
Yeah.
day. And since I was by myself, I was like, I don't know if I want to go
Probably
down a
not a good idea.
steep hill.
Right.
No, no.
Bless you, but
So anyway, but it was a fast. The whole trip was fast. We left on Sunday and came back on Fridays, and we live on the East Coast, so that was a lot of flying. And then I took one day to fly over to Kauai and come back. So
good for you. Well, I'm so like honored and humbled and grateful and blown away. So the first post was your footage of the lighthouse, and then there's something else coming out, which
oh, cool.
which will come out tonight. Maybe I'll do it tonight. Maybe I'll do it right after this.
Sure. Whatever.
Whatever.
Whenever.
Whatever. All right, girl.
So yeah, that's why I look so tired.
And tan though. Oh, you do
Yeah,
look tan. You got a little.
I got a little sun, so
All right, you look good.
thanks.
Thank you, Gail.
You're welcome, dear.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, we're making it happen here on the Polaha Chautauqua. All right, let me see. I know that Marianne, you said you're shy. You said you're shy. You said this ain't your thing, but I do want to, if you do want to jump on for just a minute. Oh, okay, that's all right. Don't you worry, girl. I know somebody will join me. We're going into the future right now. Hello, Brooke.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, very good, very good.
Very good. Okay, quick report. How's the script coming along?
It's coming along, that's for sure. So it's been a lot of fun. So I'm about halfway through, but I feel like every time I go further, then I go back and like rewrite it because I get new ideas.
Yeah.
So it's a back forth, back
Now,
forth. But
you
overall,
hit a
like
little bit of a wall? It sounds like you hit a little bit of a wall. Or are you still pushing forward?
Yeah, I'm still pushing forward, but I think I was far more confident with the first half because I really knew how to tell that story.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now trying to understand how to tell the next part of the story, it's a bit, I think like, it's a balance trying to work out how to sort of navigate this so that you get both sides of the story. And so you can see her heartache, but you can also see his story.
Right.
So we're getting there, but bit by bit.
So now remember that the first thing is, it's like marble. It's like a giant block of marble. You got to chip out the image, the structure that's within this block, this square block. And once you start chipping it out, then you can go back and refine it and refine it. And so don't put like a deadline as far as a timeline goes, because it could take a year. It could take 2 years.
Yeah.
But what I'm excited about is when you have your first draft done. It's called a rough draft for a reason. And then we're going to read it, and you're going to get notes, and then it's going to start to like anything, you start to sand it. You start to kind of work it. Sometimes we lose babies that we love. We're like, I got to kill this baby because it's like, I love this scene, but I got to get rid of it. And then you start to go, okay, this is starting to make more and more sense. Yeah. So, and that's called development. That's how you develop a script. Yeah. So don't ever block yourself. Just right. Like my only advice to you is just right. Like sit down, if you can, every day, and give yourself an hour to just play. And even if that hour you only get one scene in, or like even like a little exchange, that's a win. That's a big deal. Yeah. So yeah,
I think every time I'm able to sit down, and especially if I can give myself enough time where I can just really push through, then I feel like once I get over that initial starting to write, it's like the ideas begin to flow. And I think one of the greatest breakthroughs happened when I had this like epiphany, and I was running, and I had this epiphany of like, oh, what if all these different characters are the different like parables of how, as Christians, how we react to situations. And I think suddenly being able to feel like, okay, this character represents God's heart. This character can represent the world. This character can represent, the church or whatever. I think it helped me understand like, oh, okay, all these characters, it's not just, oh, there's people for the sake of it. It's like each character actually has a part to play in the story.
Right.
And I think that really helped me because then I could look back on my own journey and I could see the different significant moments and see, okay, well, which character would portray that moment? Which character would bring that aspect into the story?
That's great. Right. That's so smart. That's really, really great. That's a great epiphany.
That's good to hear.
No, it's good.
No, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. Good. Well, I'm excited. Keep working.
No, thank you.
Okay. And everyone else as well? You're doing well?
Yeah, it's been a crazy week or so. We had a huge conference at the church, and our church has affiliated with a ministry, so it's been a rebranding of the church. So it's a really exciting time, but like I've got sort of 3 jobs, and so I think juggling all of them at the moment. It's been a few weeks, but all amazing things. So I'm very grateful.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll be praying for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You'll be doing great. All right. We'll give everybody my best.
I definitely will. Thank you.
All right, Brooke. Good to see you. Bye. Boom. All right. There we go. It's as simple as that on the Polaha Chautauqua. Since we're in Australia, let's stay in Australia. Hi, Sam.
Hey, Chris. How you doing?
What's going on, girl? How you doing, future friend?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right.
You're doing okay?
We had an earthquake last night.
What?
Yeah, it's really freaky because in the last 5 years, we've had 3, and in my 48 years of life, we haven't had any. So it's weird.
The earth's quaking and shaking down under.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for you. Have they started fracking in Australia?
I don't
You
know.
should look up fracking in Australia and see if any oil companies, and fracking is basically they flood the earth with water, with a chemicalized water, and then it kind of pushes up any natural gas that's in the earth,
Yeah.
and makes it bubble up. But it's causing the weight of the earth's crust in those areas to get heavier, and then obviously it causes shifting, and earthquakes are happening. So like people were getting earthquakes in Alabama,
Yeah.
and they're getting earthquakes in the Carolinas, and all these like random places
Yeah.
that never got earthquakes before because of fracking. So check
Yeah, they
that.
probably have. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy last night. Honestly, I felt like I was in that scene of The Exorcist with my bed shaking and my bedroom window was shaking. Mum was fast asleep, so that was fine. But
How
my
long
whole
did
house.
it go on for? Was it like,
Oh, a couple of minutes.
I mean, it's fracking or it's the end times. It's one or
Yeah.
the other. I mean, you know.
Yeah, and then my niece calls me straight away. Did you feel that? I said, yeah, definitely.
Wow. All right. Okay, but you're okay and everything is good.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, okay. But yeah. But it kept me up for a little bit because I'm like, what the hell? At first, I thought maybe because where we live, it's like a little gated community where you have to actually drive into the complex. So I was thinking, oh, maybe a big truck has driven in, but no, it was an earthquake.
No.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So it was a bit of an excitement at I think it was like 11:41 p.m. on a Sunday. So that was
There you
exciting.
go. All right. Earthquakes. Well, are you doing well otherwise? Is everything else going well for you?
Yeah, okay. I'm all right, I guess. There's a lot of stuff happening in my world at the moment. Family members who are really sick. My niece and nephew's grandfather has got terminal cancer, so that hasn't been fun. And another friend is not well, and my niece Ashley has to go in for more surgeries, and so yeah. But other than that, we're doing all right.
Okay.
We're battling on. Our scratches are made strong, so we get through it.
You carry on.
Yeah.
Well, you know, life is. I'm giving this speech without giving too much of it away. Part of it is how life is like we're made to suffer almost, and life is hard. You know, things don't go our way, and but you happen to know a God that loves you so much that there is this weird plan in all of the heartache and all of the brokenness.
Yeah.
There is beauty and there is a peace and there is a joy you can find. So keep digging for that and keep being a representation of that light, because you are that, and that's what you do. And
well, God only throws at you what you can handle. So
right, yeah. But obviously your shoulders are strong, and so and of course
too stubborn to give up.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the other thing.
Yeah,
we're praying for you. You know, you got a community of people here who are loving on you from all the way across the other side of the world.
Yeah,
and on you and wishing you well and rooting for you to win. So keep going.
Yeah, I have Anne always checking in on me every day, and she always sends these cute little emojis that sort of like squeal out the words "I love you" like this every time. And it's funny. And it's always at the perfect time too. It's when I might be having a crappy couple hours, and then I hear this "I love you" little squeaky voice that is Anne popping in somewhere. Awesome. So yeah, she does that every day.
Makes me very happy. Yeah. It's a really special byproduct of this of you guys just being who you are. Loving on each other, and that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, someone just said that Anne is so kind. Yeah, Anne is my little angel, I think.
There's Anne right there. She says, "Love you, Sam." Sam.
Love you too. I love you more.
Well, hang in there. Keep fighting the good fight, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do.
Continue to
You
be
take care,
a
and
warrior of light, because that's what you are. You're that for your
yeah.
family, you're that for yourself. So keep on.
And good luck with Caleb's graduation and your speech, and I'm sure you're going to crush it.
Thank you.
You know what? And if you cry in front of everyone, that's
See, right.
awesome.
That's
That's
exactly what you want, is to
yeah.
come blithering, blathering like, can't get through
That
the speech.
makes the best speech, I think. It just
Oh, man.
shows that you care.
Oh, man.
It's all good.
So if I don't cry, they'll be like, why didn't you cry?
It's like, does he have a heart? No, joking.
What's with
No.
him? Why didn't he shed a tear? All right. I'll talk to you soon, Sam.
All right, you take care.
Bye.
Bye.
How are we doing, guys? How are we doing? All right. Well, I have time for one more. One more, if I can make the decision. Let's see. People got the Chautauqua shirts, that's it. I don't think that person's going to jump in. So let me see if this person will. This person's always pithy. There he is. What's up, brother man?
Hey, how are you?
Good. It's been a while. How you doing, Craig?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, life treating you right. The garden's starting to flourish.
Hey, it's getting there.
Yeah. It's been a wet, cold spring out this way. How about where you are?
It's been beautiful, actually.
Has it?
Yeah, been nice.
Great. So everything is starting to grow.
Yes, and my daughter's wanting to create a secret garden. So.
Oh, that's fun. What are you gonna do? How's that gonna work?
We started planting today. Bought a bunch of wildflowers, and we're starting to create it.
Great. That's awesome. That sounds fun.
When your 21-year-old asks you to do something, you do it.
You do it. You say,
Absolutely.
Okay. So when you say secret garden, is it going to be like, do you have to go through a hedge to find it? Or is it going to be like a garden within a garden? How's it secret?
Not yet. It's kind of it's back in that area.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's in a bunch of trees.
Okay.
So we've moved in a table, chairs. We're working on it.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, she's excited, so I'm excited.
Oh man.
Hey, congrats on Caleb graduating.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It is bittersweet, as you know, you might tell from how we function and have functioned for the past 18 years. We're like this tribe of 5, and we just move through the world together. And so to lose one of our guys, even for college, even for a good reason, we're all kind of like, but I think we'll be fine. We're gonna enjoy the summer together. We're gonna do one last hurrah this summer and
Nice.
do our thing. But yeah, and we're excited for him. But it is a little bittersweet.
That's
so.
good. Well, and to know that when you're outside looking up the same stars, he can see the same stars. It's the same God.
Yeah.
It's pretty comforting. My oldest just got back from the Marines. He was 6 years away. And so to have all 6 of ours, or all 4 of the kids and us, and he is now married. So it's wonderful. Mother's Day, we were all together, which is kind of cool.
That's awesome, Craig.
Yeah.
What a great, that's cool.
It is.
That's cool. Yeah. What you just said reminded me of, do you remember American Tail, the story, the little Fievel the mouse?
Oh yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like somewhere out there beneath the same,
Yeah.
beneath the same night stars or whatever.
That's good.
That's it. All right, man. Well, I love you. I hope you're doing well. I hope things are treating you right,
Yeah.
your family right.
They are.
And,
all blessings.
Good. I always appreciate your encouragement, man. And I know everybody on this community does. So thank you.
Good. Hey, well, I'll tell you one cool thing. My grandfather just turned 103. And so he is going to go camping with us in 3 weeks. How about that?
That's amazing.
Yeah, so
103. He's good to go. He walks, he's breathing, everything is good.
Yep.
God
Everything's good.
That's
I know.
amazing. There you go.
He's my own D-Day veteran, and he's going to go camping with us.
Hashtag goals right there. That's what you want.
I know.
I always tell my kid, I want to see 100. I'm like, I want to see 100. I want to see 2077, you know?
Yeah. After my mom is taking care of him, she's not sure that she wants to see 100. There's a lot that goes into a 103-year-old.
Sure. Well, that's what I was asking. Is it like a smooth go?
Oh, it is.
Of course it's
a smooth go.
Yeah, but then it's still like
it's 103.
It's a baby you're taking care of. Yeah. Man. All right, brother.
Hey,
it's good to see you.
It's great to see you. Blessings on you, my friend.
You too. Have a great summer.
Right. Thanks. See ya.
See ya. All right, guys. That's it. We'll be back next week. We're going to do one last Chautauqua before we head out for the summer. Posts, all that stuff will keep you up to date on as far as what's going on in Kansas City. Let's see. I love it. Lots of 103-year-olds. All right, let's give you guys a little benediction before we get out of here. Lord Jesus, I come to you today, this Sunday, at the end of May, and I pray for the people watching this, whether they're watching live or whether they're watching this broadcast on YouTube years later. And I pray that you speak to their hearts, Father God. Help them to be warriors of light, people who know that there is a God in the universe that loves them so fully and so completely, and has a plan for their lives to prosper them and to help them flourish, that they will move in the world with that confidence and with that faith and with that hope, and they will shine your light on everyone they meet, so that when sickness hits and when money gets tight and when things don't go people's way, they will be encouragement, they will be life, they will speak blessings, they will be you here on earth, that they will bring heaven here on earth, and that the people will know Jesus' love through them. I ask this in Jesus' name. Lord, I pray for the world that we are living in. I pray for all of the confusion, that there will be a peace within that surpasses understanding, and all of the darkness and the hurt, that there will be a light and a love that heals that. And again, I ask this in Jesus' name. All right, y'all. Have a great week. I'll see you next Sunday for the last and 100th Chautauqua of the year, or of the season, or whatever we're doing. The 100th Chautauqua, the last one for the summer. Bye-bye.